I mean, they meme about it. They call it masturbatation because they think that I masturbate instead.
They are young. They earn a lot of money. And they are famous all around the globe for playing a game. This is the official podcast of a professional esports team. These are the ESPORTS ROCSTARS. A new podcast is born. Welcome to the very first episode of ESPORTS ROCSTARS. My name is Fred, I'm your host, and I will give you an intimate look into the life of esports professionals. We are going to keep track of the life and development of an esports team. This podcast is produced by the German company ROCCAT, which is based in Hamburg and produces gaming hardware like mice and keyboards, headset and some other gaming related products. And ROCCAT also has its own professional League of Legends team, which plays in the European League of Legends Championship Series. We'll talk about LCS matches, we're talking about some stats and results, but this is not an esports news show. This is the show where you will meet the players as personalities, where you will learn more about who and how they are. But before we start with our very first guest, I want to introduce my exceptional and awesome experts. Please welcome Flo and Tien. Hi.
Hi Fred, nice to be here.
Hello. Do you want to say some brief words about yourself and who you are, what you do and why you are here?
Why don't you start first?
I start first. My name is Fred, as I already said. I work at ROCCAT as a video and multimedia producer. And so all the video stuff you see on our channels runs through my fingers, and I'm like a podcast addict, and I produce my own podcast. It's a famous German podcast called The Kack- und Sachgeschichten, but that doesn't belong now to here. It's a crazy show about science and nerd culture, but now I had the idea to make a ROCCAT podcast to talk about our team. And I was talking to Flo and Tien for months now, and I was annoying them with the idea to make a podcast, and now finally we do it, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's a salary for the next 3 months.
Yeah, it is indeed. My name is Flo. Yeah,
Flo. What about you, Flo?
Yeah, I'm the one who's trying to stop you from making podcasts for as long as you work here. I'm Florian. I'm also German. I work for ROCCAT for almost 5 years now. I started to create or to build up the video department. Before I joined ROCCAT, there was no one actually really taking care of all the content. And right now I'm working within the product marketing, but my expertise lays within gaming and esports for my whole professional life. I started playing Counter-Strike when it was released. Back in the days when we had version 1.3, I was a semi-professional in the highest German league. Afterwards, I got a television show for World of Warcraft. Then I joined a games publisher, started publishing computer games, mainly massively multiplayer online role-playing games. I was always working in the games industry, always connected to videos and social media. And I never lost track of esports, actually. I played League of Legends for a couple of years. Now I'm playing Overwatch additionally. If there is any esports game in the last 15 years, you name it, I played it. So, yeah.
Nice.
Not on a good level, though.
Don't be so shy, Flo. You are in the German gaming scene. You are quite famous because you hosted a show at the German TV channel Giga about World of Warcraft.
Yeah, actually, I'm not famous for my skills. I'm more famous for the mock-up show. There was an official television show which mocked our show because it was pretty nerdy.
Yeah, Switch, the show named Switch.
Switch Reloaded. Yeah, as Tien said, I played every single game, but I never was one of the most successful one because I've got a temper and I can't really focus for long gaming sessions because I start raging, and there's
really
the one or two lemonades always involved, and
Okay, let's see how toxic you will be on the podcast.
Today it's just coffee, no lemonade yet.
And our third in our room. We are sitting right now at a ROCCAT HQ in Hamburg in the podcast basement. What about you, Tien?
Yeah, so I'm Tien. Most people probably know me as the Reddit guy. I take care of all the social media channels here for ROCCAT and Team ROCCAT. Regarding Team ROCCAT, because of my experience as a first league American football player, I was actually trying to coach the team back in 2016, I think.
Yeah, worked out pretty well.
Yeah, that's how Memento actually got here, but we'll come to that later. And actually, I think I was a substitute too in 2015 for the team when I was still Diamond 2. But yeah, then I started working here and didn't have so much time to play anymore.
He's by far our best League of Legends player in the company, by far.
Yeah, of course. Cool.
Yeah, maybe you can talk about the technical setup here.
The technical setup. Oh yeah, we are actually recording this whole podcast. Every one of us, me, the host, the experts, and also the guests. We are recording that only with the Khan Pro gaming headset that we ROCCAT made.
Yeah, which has a very awesome microphone. This is what we want to prove.
As you can hear.
So it's not a condenser mic. It's not a big studio mic. It's only a gaming headset. We are recording this podcast. But now enough to the experts and to me. Let's please in. Let's get in. Let's introduce
someone special.
Our very first guest. The Swede joined Team ROCCAT in 2017. It was his beginning, the beginning of his career as a professional League of Legends player, and he is now back as the captain of the team. Please welcome Jonas Elmarghichi. His name is Memento. Hi.
Hello, Fred and Tien and Flo. Nice to meet you guys. I am honored to be on this podcast.
We're honored to have you here, actually. Just let me correct you, Fred. He first joined us in 2016.
Yes.
What did I say?
17, but you just...
2016.
He came back in 17.
Almost the same thing.
No, I came back in 18.
Yeah, but you know...
Actually, it was December...
end of 2017.
Okay.
Memento, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Just freshly woken up. I'm ready to get in here, man. I just start on with the podcast. I was really excited when I heard about the news, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Cool. We want to start every show with every guest with 10 very short questions, okay? We're going now through 10 short questions. I want you to answer them as directly and as quickly as possible, okay?
All right.
Okay. Now let's start with question number 1. What's your favorite food and drink?
Lasagna and water.
Is it Garfield?
Is that the PR answer? Or?
Water?
No, but it's my mom always makes like great lasagna. I always loved it, and I don't know. I think all drinks are actually coffee. Coffee. Oh my God, how did I not say that?
Iced coffee.
Nice.
No. Yes, normal coffee, like strong ass coffee that I drink from home. I have some like. I can keep going.
Second question, what do you love the most about being a professional esports player?
Probably the competition and the freedom of not living at home. Kind of like living with your friends and like having a second family, kind of. It's always like enjoyable.
What do you really hate about being an esports pro?
Not many things, actually. Maybe sometimes it can be annoying to like... live in the same place. Actually, what I hate about being an esports pro is losing. It's actually that simple. That's the only thing I hate about it.
Good answer.
Yeah. Number 4. You can morph into one League of Legends champion in real life.
Graves.
Which one do you choose and why?
Graves, baby. I love that champion. Wait, am
why?
I allowed to swear on this podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, I fucking love that champion.
Be
Graves
honest.
is so fucking great. It's because this champion is the one that got me into ROCCAT in 2016. I just spammed this champion and got like real high elo and got kind of noticed.
What do you think are his... I mean, why is he good in real life? Because of the cigar that he doesn't have anymore?
Yeah, probably
or
the cigar, and
grenade?
he just seems like a really he's a beautiful man. He probably just like doesn't care that much about other people, and he You know, he's just enjoying life. He has a cigar, he has a shotgun. What more is there to life, actually?
You just want to look badass.
Yeah,
he
pretty
has
much.
a mustache. That's also great.
And the pool party skin, man.
Yeah. I mean, I can be flexible. You know, I can go to the pool. I can be a mafia boss. Like, there's so many things I can do.
I think he's more like the killer, not the boss. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You can accept Graves, I think.
Number 5. When you're preparing for a match, do you have any rituals?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't live your life without rituals. I mean, before every match, I just, I think we do draft and prepare it, and then we have I drink some coffee. But my favorite part of the day is just, I get into the shower, I bring my speakers, I have the loudest noise on, loudest volume on, and I just turn on some music. I actually tweeted it by Chief Keef, I hate being sober. I sit and listen to it, blasting it in the shower and just dancing and singing along, having a good time, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just listening to music. Yeah.
In the early days of the pro series and in general of esports, there was FIFA, was very prominent, and in the early days it was not forbidden to play drunk. So
really?
one of the most successful FIFA players of all time, a German one from MTW, called Adonis. He was a World Cup winner. He played best when still drunk from the evening before, and because he threw up on stage and was super drunk on one game, the ESL decided to put a rule that you have to be sober.
He puked on the stage.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of an urban myth with the puking, but he was literally wasted.
So his ritual was getting shit-faced.
Yes, he was getting drunk every evening before the games, and then he just chat on the opponents.
Memento, did you ever play drunk?
No, I did not. Oh, you mean in general? If I maybe played?
Yeah, in general.
Yeah, of course. I played some normal game or something when I did.
Getting back from the party at 4 and feeling I'm gonna rock solo queue now.
Yes, I play one solo queue, before bed. Into your teammates and you know how it is. But no, I don't do that anymore.
Let's get back to the quick questions. Number 6, your favorite game of all times?
I mean, League of Legends.
And aside from League of Legends?
I can't remember the last time I enjoyed a game. But I think League of Legends was the one that I really enjoyed and was actually really fun. But I guess now it's
your only one.
Yeah, exactly. It's my only one. I was I couldn't really play anything else because everything else was so boring. Pretty much.
Your one true love.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 7, what's your favorite music?
Listen to all kinds of stuff. It's not really, I don't really have any special genre that I only listen to. This can be everything, rock, hip hop, I don't know, indie pop. There are so many kinds of music. Chill step. I listen to everything basically.
Okay. Number 8, you are stranded on a lonely island. What are your 3 personal items you take with you?
My headphones, my phone, and a charger.
Nice.
I just want to listen to music and enjoy my last
on the
days.
island, man.
What? Adaptable charger, portable charger.
Yeah, but you cannot recharge it. I mean, you need a solar one. Maybe there is a solar battery.
But at least he has some hours of music before he dies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would die anyway, so I don't know about recharging the phone, the battery. So I just want to enjoy my last minutes with some good music and just lying on the beach or whatever. I just chill.
Great.
That's super sad. I would try to build a life on the island. I don't know, but he's I'm gonna die anyway.
Yeah, what's the point?
I liked it. A knife, food? No, fuck it. A smartphone.
Yeah.
Number 9. What is your best attribute and what is your worst?
Wait.
It's a hard question.
Yeah, I'm not really sure actually.
Being on time maybe is
Actually,
really
I've
good
always been
attribute
a
of yours.
time optimist during my lifetime on this earth. So every time,
We started this recording with a delay of 10 minutes, so being on time maybe.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
I feel like it was more
wasn't
like
it
half an hour.
20 or-
Yeah,
Actually, we named the podcast after, like rockstars are always late on time. So,
Yeah. And the last and most important question, number 10. Which key is best for Flash, D or F?
D. Everyone knows.
Good job, man.
No, what is it? Media says everyone knows that D is for Flash and F is for.
Yeah.
I'm feeling you, man.
I remember the early days. It always was D is for dance.
Yeah.
And they just tricked me 13 times.
Yeah, I don't know how
Or
I
more.
fell for it every single time. Actually, it's
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
ridiculous. But
I
you just
dance.
wanted to dance, dude. Like that's all you wanted in this game.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for the short questions. Thank you, Memento.
No problem.
Memento. I want to know, how did you start your career? Let's talk a bit about you. How did you become a professional League of Legends player back in the days?
I mean, it kind of started with I just, like I said before, I really enjoyed playing League of Legends. I was like really garbage at the game, so my friends we were like playing together, and they would just perma-flame me and like, be like, "You fucking asshole, you suck," it was like really brutal stuff, dude. And they would just say like that I sucked so much. So in the end, I just like stopped playing with them, and I just started focusing on just playing myself. And I just like enjoyed playing solo queue to just by myself. And in the end, I became like the best player on the by all my friends, like by far. So they couldn't really say that I was shit anymore. It was kind of like just something I had to prove. So I decided to just like spam some games and become really good at the game. And then around yeah.
Oh, sorry. What season did you start?
I started in mid-season 1, around there. I was like bronze, elo, like really low, like 900.
Really, your first rank was bronze?
Yeah, it was like really like 1,100 LP, which wasn't even bronze by then. It was like lower than bronze.
So I was higher than you in season 1.
Shut up, Tien.
Yeah.
Come on. It's about
This
Memento.
podcast is not about you, TM, man. But
Next one.
yeah. But after then in season 2, I reached platinum, like 1,900 LP. So like, I went like from 1,100 to 1,900 in one season. And then season 3, they removed the elo system, and it became like this Diamond 1 and Diamond 1 diamond system, like platinum, gold, and all the divisions we have right now, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, go on.
Go on.
Yeah. Okay. It's a pretty long story, guys. You're gonna have to sit
Yeah,
back
we wanna
here
hear it.
and not interrupt me.
We get time.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, then as I said, I was just like keep playing, and I was pretty good at the game, like gradually, and got like Diamond 1, just kept playing, had some fun. I was still finding joy with the game, so it was no problem. But I was also like going to school, and it was pretty ridiculous thought to think about going pro back then. It's like season 4 or something. I think you made like 20 euros a month or so. So it wasn't really like worth dropping out of school or something. And I really wasn't that good, actually. I thought I was.
But did you already find a team? That's the most important thing right now, I think. Did you already played in a team? Like
No. I never
org or
played
just-
in a team. I mean, I would say initially how the story started was just that I finished being an electrician. Like I got graduated from school, and I realized like in the last year when I was an electrician that holy shit, this is not what I want at all. Like I don't want to be an electrician. So I'd been studying like for 3 years for absolutely nothing, and it wasn't really something I wanted to be. So I was like, hey, I'm pretty good at this game, so maybe I can give it a shot. So I made like a 1-year plan with my parents, and I was like, okay, I want to play 1 year and try to become a professional. And if I don't become a professional, I'll just go back to the normal life. I'll start studying and I'll just go to school or whatever, or just get a job. So they agreed on the 1 year, and that 1 year I was just like spamming solo queue every day. I think I became pretty addicted to League. Like all I could think about was just League of Legends. Like every single day I had was just about League of Legends, and it was some brutal hours being put down in there.
So how many hours did you put in, like on an average
Per day?
Yeah.
I think it was around like 10 to 12 hours. Like my sleep schedule was so fucked up, and I don't even think I improved that much because I played so much and I didn't like really focus on improving that much.
Was it always jungle?
I was actually playing mid Yasuo and sometimes jungle. And when I wanted to become pro, I was like, okay, I gotta choose a role. I can't just be both. So I was like, okay, maybe probably jungle, because I always felt like jungle was the home for me, that I enjoyed playing it the most. So I started off with jungle and...
And who did approach you? Like, how does it work? I mean, this is the most important thing for normal people.
Yeah.
You start playing, you're pretty good, you're on the first page of the ranking maybe, and then what happens? Is there someone calling you, hey, I'm this pretty shady agent, you want to play for my team, or how does it happen?
Actually, it started, I think it was a gradual build-up, especially for me, because I was actually not as good as I thought, I realized. I thought that being Diamond 1 was enough to just become pro, but being a low Diamond 1 was like a really big thing. So I had to like improve during the year, but after I improved, then I started reaching like Challenger, and the people started like noticing me, like, who's this Memento guy? I haven't seen him Challenger, like he's alright, you know. No one's really said that I was like good or anything. It was just like, yeah, he's alright, like he seems like he could actually be good. So like Arfan, back in the days, invited me to like this UK land. They needed to sub a jungler, and like Insomnia 56, I think it was the tournament. So I sub in and I play, and we make like second place, and like despite the odds. And I actually played with Alfari back then. It's like Alfari, was it Charlie T, Polk? He doesn't even play League of Legends anymore, and then Arfan. So I played this tournament, and after this, someone saw me like on the UK tournament, and I'm still on the ladder. Then I get an offer from the Spanish league. So I'm like, okay, I'll go to Spain, and I just played over there. I got second league as well. It was quite a journey, and then Spain wanted me to like stay for one more split, but the ultimate goal was always to reach LCS. So I always thought that I had to like be on the move and just keep going. So after the Spain split, actually, no, this was the point where my parents were getting tired of my bullshit and be like, hey, you have not become a pro yet, what the fuck are you doing? So they wanted to see, you know, that I actually make something and not been wasting 2 years of my life making no money, you know. And the Spanish league didn't really...
Because salary in national leagues is like not very big.
Yeah, it was non-existent back then, pretty much. It didn't make anything.
It's good now.
But it was...
It's getting better.
Yeah. Now it's really good.
It's good.
Yeah, but back then when I played, it was... I mean, it was non-existent, let's just say that. But it was fun. You get like a flight, you know, down to the land, and maybe you get some food sometime. That was pretty much what we lived for back in the days.
Free gear.
Do you remember the exact? Do you remember the particular moment, the exact moment when you got a call or someone wrote you or whatever? The moment when you realized, okay, I made it. I'm now a professional.
I mean, I'm not sure when I felt like... I think in my mind I was always... I have to be in LCS to be a professional. But yeah, I remember when it was after I got like really... I mean, I played in Nerve in Challenger Series, and we went like 6 plates. It was pretty over the split, and I thought I would just have a long off season. But then one day after, my owner's like from Nerve, he says like, oh yeah, ROCCAT wants to talk with you. And I talked with ROCCAT Fly, our manager today. And he says like, yeah, okay, listen, Airwax doesn't want to play anymore, or like he's gonna step down and he's not gonna play anymore. And we need a new jungler, and you're like our only hope, pretty much. And I was like...
Actually, I was on the other line as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure.
That was like the coaching stint I had there.
Tien was there as well, yes.
I was there for 2 weeks, and I was
actually
evaluating the situation.
You weren't there when I was there, were you?
No, I left like... I mean, I think it was like right after the LCS match.
Yeah.
And I think there was like a deadline for trading. And I think we called you at like 11 or something like that, a Skype call.
Yeah, 11 p.m.
And we had to book your flight.
Yeah.
And it took like 5 hours until you were at the airport, and then you flew over, and I was leaving during that time.
Yeah. It was pretty intense, actually. They just called me like at night, and they're like, okay, listen, we need you to come over tomorrow at 11 p.m., scrim at 2 p.m. Against LCS teams, which I had never done before, you know. And even the thought of like playing LCS was just too much for me. You know, I was like, what the hell is going on? So I had to first mentally prepare to actually fly over to Berlin and also to play in LCS the same day. Or not play in LCS, but play scrims. And then the coming week I would play LCS. So it was pretty intense, but it was definitely one of my more, best experience in my life. Because it was what I worked towards in my entire life, joining LCS, pretty much.
And what do your parents say today?
I mean, they're pretty chill about it. Like they're supporting me, and they always have like. It was just my mom didn't really like the idea of like playing League of Legends for 2 years and not making any money.
But she knows. I mean, now you kind of make some money.
Yeah, of course. Now it's alles gut, you know. They just like
Alles gut.
Yeah, alles gut. So they're all like really happy about me, and they're supporting me like to the maximum. Hopefully they'll come and visit once and see how it is.
One question from Tien.
Yeah.
We kind of jumped the gun. I think. I think between Spain and Nerf, you also went to Russia, right?
Yeah. It was. I mean, I was gonna say that. Well, like what I said was, my parents wanted to see like, or my mom wanted to see like some, some kind of like effort. Why do you even play the game? You know, if is this really something you can do for a period of time and make money and live on? You know. And so I got like an offer from Russia, and they had like pretty good salary, like back then. I think it was like, I don't know, 2K or something. No, actually it wasn't. It was like $200 a month or so.
Really?
Oh my
Yeah. But
that was pretty good salary. Yeah.
And a bottle of vodka.
Yeah, and bottle of vodka, of course. But also it was 2K from the Russian riot, and then 200 from the company, and that was like a shit ton of money for me. So it was better than I had ever like expected, from considering where I played before. So I went. I played from home actually. I didn't really go over to Russia until it was semifinals, but we managed to qualify for playoffs. So our org wanted to make a boot camp for 1 month. So I fly over to Russia and live there for 1 month and just. We played we were gonna play semifinals, and I remember, but holy shit, Russia was so great. Actually, it was. We were being treated. I think the team Empire, they had like a Dota team as well, and we were using like their boot camp, and there was like this huge house. So it had like ping pong in the basement, and a sauna, and like TV and Guitar Hero, and then we had like all our PCs. We had a cook who like fixed our laundry and stuff and everything. Like it was. You were kind of living like a king, to be honest.
And that was that the first time that you feel like, how can the life as an esports pro look like?
Yeah, pretty much. Like food was being provided, anything we needed. Like I said it, like, oh, I really need this in our shoelaces, and they just like got it the same day, and like you're legit being. It was really the good life, I would say, and I realized like, oh.
Does it feel real for you today? I mean, this is a question that I'm always asking myself, so I think it's a bit of, interesting for the listeners. Does it feel real? Do you guys realize that you are role models, that people are looking up to you, that you are living the life that so many kids are dreaming right now? Yeah,
of course. Of course we realize. It's, it's everything I think most people worked for, And it's definitely not something to just throw away and not take it for granted. So I always appreciate every moment I'm actually a professional gamer right now.
Yeah. Memento, you had great matches you were celebrated for, but you have also some experiences with, let's call it, streaks of bad luck. In another interview, you were talking about how psychologically devastating it can be to lose several matches in a row. What happens in your head when you leave the arena being defeated?
I mean, I would say I kind of feel I'm at loss at words after. Like I'm kind of frustrated after losing, and then I'm just like I'm just at loss at words, to be honest. Like I have nothing to say, and I feel so empty after losing. Like it's one of the worst feelings in the world. So like I guess like today these days I'm more looking considering I have to be like a leader, I'm not looking to like be really down after a loss. I'm looking more for improvement into like for my team, and like the ultimate goal is to like improve really much and make playoffs, and then from there like keep improving for summer split. And it's a long journey, you know, so I'm always happy if as long as we play like a good game, because we lost against Vitality, but we played pretty clean like for the first early game. I mean, yeah, I stole Nasher. It wasn't like that clean that I had to steal it to get back into the game, but
Yeah.
I saw some improvement at least, and that was kind of all that matters to me. So even though like I know we should have won that game, I mean they backdoored, but it really didn't matter to me as much. But then there are these losses
For the long
when
term, you mean?
you go 0-6 on Sejuani against Fnatic, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened, you know? I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And I just feel like embarrassed, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But there's a lot of different feelings. But the worst feeling after losing was probably in Giants, when I played versus G2 and we got perfect gamed. It was the most frustrating loss I've ever witnessed, like in my life, because I couldn't do anything, and we were just like slowly losing the game, like by doing nothing, and we couldn't do anything at all. I've never felt so helpless in my life, actually. So that was probably the most frustrating.
So most people. Yeah, so most people don't know it, but like after the match, you always have to take this shuttle like back home, and it's like for us it's like a 40-minute ride, and I've been to one of these shuttle rides after a loss. So the way I know it is everybody just is silent, you know, and nobody talks. So is it different with this team?
I mean, sometimes it can be different.
After a loss?
After the Vitality loss, we weren't like too sad about it. We were like, okay, listen, like I think on Fridays especially, there's no people are not like that sad, you know, because you have a game the next day. And I mean, of course, in other teams it's very silent, I would say. It's just I just turn on my headphones, and the most people do it the same, and they just like, you know, reflect on the game in their head and just try to. It's kind of like a moment. It's kind of like going to a funeral, you know. Like in that car, everything's just like so quiet.
Have you ever played in a team, or did you have matches where you were screaming at each other afterwards?
I mean, maybe after scrims, there was like could be intense, like in former teams. Like after a game where something went bad and people are just like arguing and being like really stubborn. I'm not gonna like name specific names, but
individuals.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it happens.
Yeah, but it happens. Yeah, like
fighting that happens.
Yeah, there's like fighting that happens, and people like really stubborn, and like no one wants to be wrong, both wants to be right, and they just like sit there.
I know that.
Yeah. So it's like
there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on all of you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like in the end, our jobs are to win, you know. And when things don't go right, then people start like showing their true face, kind of. And so yeah, it can be intense a lot of times, but I haven't really felt that it's been like, at least from my experience, it has never been like, you know, straight up screaming like, "You piece of shit! I told you to get to bed!" You know, it's not like this. You know, like we're still humans, so I think people can control it a little bit, but definitely like some frustration. But it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because when you are angry and you're like yelling about the problems, then you start like learning and realizing these problems. That was kind of something I never had in Giants. We were always just too kind and afraid of hurting each other's feelings, so we never like really got anywhere with our career.
Is there also this problem for you, like sometimes where players like just say like, screw the team, I'm just thinking about next split and I'm just gonna play for myself, you know, to get presented in a good light so teams want me? Is that something that occurred to you?
No, it hasn't really occurred to me actually yet. I mean, there has like been the memes about it, like, I guess I have to play for myself now, guys, sorry, you know, we like joke around about it, but it's never, I don't think anyone has actually, that I played with, has gone down that path and just been like, I only play for myself right now, and I'm just gonna make sure I look good. I think in the end, all the players are looking to make the org look good and do their best and try to win with the team.
Okay.
Do you have some good advice for other players, professionals or amateurs, doesn't matter, to deal with defeats?
Like any tricks or things that you can do to not...
To not get toxic like Flo.
Or to not get hurt too much. I mean, I'm just getting toxic, blaming the others, standing up and go away. It doesn't affect me, but there might also be negative things to you if you lose, and then you get into this spiral and you lose again, and then you're getting sad and depressed.
I mean, I would just say try to be as objective as possible regarding the loss. I mean, sometimes it's hard because you get really emotional because you don't want to lose, but because that was like, you shouldn't really be too emotional about it, like the loss. You should really look at it. Did I do everything that I could? Did I play my best? And if you didn't, then improve the fuck up. Like, you gotta improve, man. So there's not really too many things to be sad about. It's okay to be sad for a little while, but don't dwell on it. You gotta get back out there and start improving if you want to stop losing. It's the only way to stop losing, so it's kind of what I would say.
So you had this 1 year stint where you were like trying to go pro, and I mean, for other people, if they have like a losing streak of 5 or 6 games, people just say just get off the PC and cool down, you know. But I mean, for you, you had this goal set, and I mean, you weren't like going off the PC or not for like 12 hours. So when, like, how many months did it took you until you like really be like really objective and not emotional about like losing streaks, because they happen, right?
Yeah, it took me quite a while. I was really stupid back then. I was like playing for 1 year and just I just kept going. I would go on like a 20 losing streak and I refused to go sleep before I get a win, you know. And sometimes I would just be up like I'd do an all-nighter and just be up all day and night and just keep playing. I have to get a win. Instead of just like call it the day, take a shower, go to sleep and get back refreshed tomorrow and have a goal in mind how you're gonna improve, you know. So yeah, I would say I was kind of stupid back then.
You were talking about your routine to take a shower and to listen to music before you have a match. And you tweeted like 10 days ago after the match against Giants, you forgot to do that. And that explains why you lost.
Yes.
Are you superstitious? Do you believe in that?
No, not really. But I like the I like to just have some routines that makes me feel good, you know. And just I also listen to Young Lean as well, so it's kind of one of my rituals as well. But I mean, it's not like I believe.
But there's no specific.
Yes, of course. I mean, I went 0-6 the same day that I tweeted that, so I'm pretty sure I'm not superstitious, guys.
And is there anything like a specific order where you enter the shuttle bus within the team? Something where you always do it the same way, like always the same guy enters stage first, or anything team internally?
No, not. I'm not specific order. I mean, I'm always late because I have to like meditate and take a good shit before the games. So
it's a ritual.
Yeah, that's a ritual.
Because I really don't want to.
But there's nothing like, guys, we forgot to take a shit, so we're gonna lose.
No,
go. Nothing like that, right?
All I think about is let's do our best and let's have some fun. Like that's all that's in my mind, and actually I like to take a nap on the way to the Riot studio. It's pretty nice. Just listen to some like piano music and just take a good nap, and then you just wake up and you're like, oh shit, we're playing. So
we started that interview we're doing right now at about 11:30 in the morning. It's a Tuesday, and you said in the beginning of the podcast episode you just woke up. So can you talk a bit about your daily routine? When does an esports pro wake up, and what do you do then?
I mean, we started scrims at 1, so everyone's like kind of up at around 11:30 or so, I would say. But now it's been more like 12. I mean, it just goes up, you know. We don't really have like a specific time that we want to be up, but I think it's more everyone should get like one solo queue game in, and then we eat breakfast together. We make some coffee, or sometimes he can make coffee for me, I make coffee for him. And then just sit at the PC, we do some draft, focus on what we're gonna practice on this week, what the goal of our scrims are gonna be. Then from 1 p.m. we play until 4. Then we have a 1 hour break in between, where we eat and just... Yeah, pretty much. Oh wait, is it till 4? Wait, 1 to 4, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 1 to 4 and then 1 hour break and then at 5 we start again. Yeah, we're in between that break we just eat and just have a little snack.
Prophet takes a nap.
Some it's a bit short these days. Kind of like the old system where it was like, or in Korea we scrim like 1 to 4 and then 7 to 10. And then you could take like a nap for 3 hours and just like get refreshed and just play really good, you know? If you had a bad sleep that day or something. But now it's, I kind of don't like it because it's only 1 hour break and you barely have any time to refocus. But during this break, I eat with the team and then I go meditate and I lie in my bed and just, focus for the next scrim block. And then from 5 till 8 it is, 5 to 8, we just play again. And after that it's solo queue time and we just play solo queue until like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Some people...
You said you said several times that you meditate. Is meditating just your words for chilling, or do you really meditate?
No, I really meditate. I've been doing it like for a year now. I guess do it 25 minutes every day, and like helps me refocus.
Okay, so where did you learn that?
I learned it.
Or where did you get it from?
Like 4 years ago, I think. I was just like, or 3 years ago, around there. I think I watched like a video about it, and also my older coach, like back in the days, Hazel, I was asking like, how do I improve on this game, man? How do I become good, and what am I supposed to do, like to become more consistent? Because some games I was inting, some games I was playing like really good. I was like, have you ever tried being mindful and like meditating? So he kind of popped that idea into my head, and I started searching up about meditation, and it sounded pretty damn good. So I gave it like a try, and like for 5 minutes or 3 minutes meditation, I always ended up like quitting. But last year in Giants was like the first time I actually consistently meditated for months. And ever since then I've just kept meditating every single day for around 25 minutes.
What about the team? Are they did they mock you at the start of when they found out, or are they even joining you? Or
no. I mean, they don't. They're not really that bothered. I mean, they meme about it. They call it masturbatation because they think that I masturbate instead. That's like.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what they think I'm doing.
So nobody joined you.
Yeah, nobody joined me, I would say.
They should.
Masturbation.
We're gonna ask the other guys in the next episodes why they don't join you, because you improve so much and you're like a very chillax dude.
They will be on every damned esports news site tomorrow. Memento likes to masturbate before every match. Really nice.
Yeah.
All right, that leads us to the next question. For an esports pro, how important is doing normal sports?
I would say pretty damn important. I mean, we like to think that we're just a bunch of animals who eat chips and drink cola all day and just play solo queue. But I think if you really want to get like really good at the game and have some kind of routine in your life, because I think if you only play League of Legends all day and you never do any sports and never do anything else, then you're probably gonna become pretty depressed. And I mean, that's what I like experienced Giants, like no working out or anything, just playing League all day. So when League is the only thing you have in your life and it doesn't go well, then you're gonna get pretty sad about it. So I would say,
be honest. Do you do any other sports?
Of course.
Do you do normal sports?
Yeah, I do go to the gym. I mean, I go to the gym consistently now. I'm gonna get a new gym membership tomorrow. But since then, we have like a small gym here in the ROCCAT house, which I've been like doing some exercise and just keeping up to speed, like making sure my body is, still functioning, you know. Mens
sana in corpore sanum. That's what the Latins said. It's like a healthy a healthy mind is only
Yeah,
a healthy
exactly.
body. There's
So
a
I think
healthy
it's it's really so that's why I think it's like really important to actually do sports. And
Yeah.
Are your teammates sharing that belief as well?
I mean, Blank is the only one who shares it at the moment. The other ones are like,
Really?
yeah, Blank. I always see this guy like in our home gym. Like, this guy's just working out all the time, dude. He's just doing like bench press like 24/7. Like this guy, there's no stopping this guy.
You can see that actually if you see him walking around. Like this guy is really
Yeah, he's
in
really
good shape.
buff, you know. Like he's about to beat the shit out of it.
I mean, he needs to carry
Yeah,
all of you, you
exactly.
know. So
Yeah, it's like that. But I think the rest of the
No, I mean,
actually no wait, Profit works as
there's
well.
medical reasons
Yeah.
actually. There's medical reasons. If you just sit and play for the whole day, you can't sleep. You feel like there is muscle contraction. Your nerves
Yeah.
don't do well. So actually, if you concentrate a lot with your mind, your body needs exhaustion too. So you need to exhaust your body to kind of get the strength for your mind back.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
A fact actually. I mean, this is Tien's topic actually, because he's like he used to play football a lot, and
I still play.
he still plays football on a high level. And there is the coaching about football. They always train you the mental things too, right? The
Yeah.
mental and
Yeah,
body.
so I mean, in football, it looks like a really physical sport, but in practice, you do like more theory and stuff, and like get kind of like a muscle memory, but for the mind. And I think league is kind of like that too, you know, through scrims and stuff like that. You get some kind of like mental muscle memory that you know, like in certain situations, how to react as a team and as an individual.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I mean, we already made the connection. What do you think, Jonas? Is there anything that you as an esports team, or you as an esports player, can take from traditional sport and transport to esports? Is there something important, or the other way around? Maybe.
Not really sure, but I think I think the coaching is like kind of similar in regards of like team bonding, becoming a team, and always like having your teammates back and stuff like this. That was like made in traditional sport. Like my dad is a coach as well, like for football, and he's taught me a lot, like in regards of being a leader and like being kind of a coach as well, you know. So even though he doesn't know a damn thing about League of Legends, he still like knows a shit ton about life and how people work.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely gives and takes for both ends, I would say.
Did he visit you guys?
No,
Sorry,
not
Tien.
yet.
Go ahead.
I'm waiting for my family to come over some days and see, like around March or so.
Oh, is there a date
no,
planned?
not yet.
Or a week?
So I'm not sure.
Okay. So yeah, that was kind of interesting what you said with the leadership, because most people think like people are born to be leaders. I mean, there are some natural talents who can do it, but most leaders, they need to practice it, because it's not something you just wake up and be like, oh, I'm the leader, I need to talk now. So you need to train it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think it's. I mean, I guess some people have the personality of being like a leader from the beginning, but for me, it's kind of different, because I was just like some young, insecure kid who I wasn't even sure about myself, and now I have to kind of be a leader. So that means I have to have like a lot more confidence in myself and confidence in my teammates, and making sure that I can be like a stable pillar for my team and in and outside the game.
Yeah, you kind of decided that, right? At the start of the split, you were like, okay, actually, I'm the guy with the most experience, so I have to be the leader. And then was it a shift in your mind? And then you called your dad and it's like, hey, Dad, I have to be the leader to my new team. What am I going to do?
I was discussing like offers with my dad, and I had like two different, and I told them about ROCCAT, and they needed a leader, and I was like, I have never been a leader. How do I do it? I don't know. Can I even be a leader? Then my dad said, go for the leader part, because it's a new experience and you can always learn from this. And I kind of always wanted to be a leader and help other people, you know, become the best version of themselves. So my dad was always like, before I went ever, he was like, remember, you have to always talk with them. If you want them to improve, always tell them that They tell them that they're doing something good, but tell them that they can do better, and like always give them first, lift them up, and then you can give them like a little bit of like he just gave like a shit ton of tips, and every time I call him like every week he just gives him more tips like, hey, go out with the guys, go swimming, go do team bonding. You have to like you can't just sit home and play all days. And
maybe we should hire that.
He's legit the best, like honestly, even though he doesn't know, like if he spoke actually good English, he would legit be the best. No joke.
What do you think after the first few weeks? Did your dad gave you enough tips? Are you right now the leader you want to be at this point of the season?
I mean, definitely not.
In the team?
I am not even close to being the leader I want to be. But
that's the best answer you can
yeah,
give.
because I'm off, but I'm on the right path, I feel like. And he's definitely given me a shit ton of tips that has helped me a lot already. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever be like satisfied with the kind of leader I am. I want to like always become more, I would say.
That's a perfect mentality, actually.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't it, Fred?
Yeah. Sounds great. Sounds like the beginning of a superhero movie. What you just told us. Last question before we start talking about the latest matches. Memento, please be honest. Are you sometimes tired of playing League of Legends? Do you sometimes wake up and say, "Oh no, I don't want to play that game anymore"?
Of course. I mean, I think it all comes down to the mental exhaustion from not working out, and you know, like I said, if you do the same shit every day, then you're probably gonna not enjoy it as much as you used to. So there's definitely been like times if we lose a lot of scrims, then I'm like, well, I guess it's time to retire, you know, like lying in my bed before I go to sleep, like, well, I guess it's time. I had a good run. No, I didn't actually. I got relegated, and then I got promoted, you know. Then I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to keep playing. And then other days I'm like, I fucking love this game. I love it so much, and I don't want to do anything else but play it. So I think it's... there's definitely times where you really don't want to play this game. But I think it's important.
So but you still have the urge to play.
Of course.
You still have the
Or else I
good
wouldn't
days
be here.
also. Like.
But I think
yes.
I mean
Yeah.
that's why I would say it's important to like do sports and have other stuff to do, like than just play League of Legends, so you can make sure that you don't get burned out. And during off season, of course, take a month break or 2-week break from League of Legends and just refresh, I would say. Then you should be fine.
Nice. Thank you for your honest answers. Let's just talk about the last week or the last weeks in the life of Team ROCCAT. We're now at the beginning. Can you say beginning? We're now in week 5. In the middle. We're now in week 5 of the Spring Split 2017. Yep. So
we had some mixed experiences. You already mentioned one of the games, most likely.
Let's start with the first half. Yeah, like, how do you feel about the results and the improvement as a team for the first half, like in general?
I mean, the thing is, we were playing like really different in scrims and on stage in the first half, because like we would lose we would lose most of our scrims, I would say, and it was it's kind of weird that we went on the winning streak. But as soon as we got onto stage, everyone just like became fire and just like played really good. But I think we were in this mindset that scrims and competition is not the same, but it actually is the same, because the things you practice is what the things you're gonna do on stage. So we get away with it like first coming weeks. But I think Hiku said it also in the interview. We were winning those games because the enemy team was just worse than us, you know. It wasn't like we were playing like insanely good. And I think we got like the reality check around when we got 0-2 that week. It was last week, week 3. Week 3.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Week 3. We played Giants and Fnatic. Giants and Fnatic. And I think that's where we got like a reality check that, hey, you can't just lose every scrim and like not practice as hard in scrims and then think that you're gonna win on stage. And I think that reality check was really helpful for the team. And ever since then, I think we've improved so fast, and it's going kind of great right now. Really enjoying it.
Okay, so you feel like the gameplay you show in scrims is also the same on stage?
It's
now?
it's becoming that way right now. A lot better now.
Okay.
So it was a turning point, actually.
I mean, it was kind of the loss, because in the first weeks, yeah, we had like terrible scrims, but hey, we won on stage, guys, so doesn't matter, you know, and we try to get away with murder, kind of. So we just kept...
But I mean...
I think you could see a huge change, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I wanted to add a question for the things you said, because ROCCAT as an organization has a pretty long history in EU LCS. We had a team, a lot of teams so far, and if I remember correctly, every single team said that scrims is different to games, absolutely different. We had teams that won every scrim but lost every game on stage, and we had the opposite. We had also had teams that lost every scrim but won the games on stage. So there is a difference, obviously.
I don't really think so. I think when you scrim in a way for multiple months or multiple weeks, I mean, you play 24 games a week before LCS. I believe that you actually, you know, you start building patterns like in yourself. The mistakes you make on scrims, you'll eventually make them on stage as well. But there's only like so far you can get away with it. And because most of our lives are from scrims, you know, we play 24 games throughout the week, so all of our days are just 6 hours of scrims. So you kind of want to feel good about those scrims and not like waste them being like complete garbage. Then your life quality is gonna go down quite a bit as well. Then, so I think. So I just want to say that I think. There is actually like no big difference between competition and scrims. Like people like to believe it here in EU. That's why the scrims are like pretty. Yeah, it's been a meme like around that EU scrims are pretty garbage, you know. So I think that's kind of like the mentality that needs to be, you know, put down. That scrims and competition are the same thing, and you actually have to play your best in scrims as well.
Yeah. So as someone who listened to the match communication and also scrim communication, like that was like a huge shock for me when I was 2 weeks with Team ROCCAT, that the game communication was like 10 times better than the scrim communication. Like everyone was talking way more and everyone was like sharing only relevant information. So would you say with this team, like your on-stage communication is almost exactly like, I know it can't be like 100% the same, but as close as possible, like in scrims?
I mean, we try to make it. It wasn't before, but now we try to make it as close as possible, like we do on stage. But there's definitely like when you go on stage, there's a lot of jitters, and you get like a bit more excited, and you know, there's a lot of events like leading up to the game on stage, which makes you a lot more energetic. I would say.
You want to go to
and
mic check.
You have a good night of sleep. Yeah, I go to mic check as well. Like that's the thing that matters for us.
Definitely.
But I think of course, it's not the same because everyone has a lot more energy when it's on stage.
But it's similar.
But, you try to keep it kind of similar, and so you have like a good communication.
But that's good because the experience I had was like it was always black and white, like other people talking who were never talking in scrims. So yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I want. Like I don't want with this team, you know, that it'll be like a pattern, like something to be. Yeah, I want to kind of be the same thing. Like competition and scrims, at least like very similar. It doesn't have to be like perfect because you can't just give 150% every single game. Then you'll probably get burned out pretty fast.
That's what I just said. We were just having a discussion.
Yeah, we want to quickly talk about the last week.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, game one, I think you kind of cut it already.
Yeah.
I think it as a neutral viewer who wasn't like with the team, it was a huge improvement from ourselves. Like we were proactive, we weren't reacting against I guess the best team right now in the EU LCS if you look at the table. And yeah, maybe talk about like the last minutes. I mean, for example, the 5 versus 3 where like 2 of Vitality ported back because you were pushing mid. and you kind of closed down on them in
Oh
bottom
yeah,
lane.
then we collapsed on them.
That was a really smart call. Like, did you make that call? Because, or how did you make the call? Did you see like 2 people ported back earlier than the other 3, or?
I mean, we ran down mid, and I kind of knew that they had to base because they were scared of us like finishing the game. But Kabashard was always like this kind of, you know, they want to base, they want to defend, but they don't really want to give up pressure, you know. So I was like lurking around the jungle, and I saw them like having a little bit. I saw Azir and some Varus basing, and I saw the rest were. I saw Gigant staying a bit because he wanted to get the tower or what it was at that point. So I thought he would like initially just have a late base. So I was like just lurking in the jungle and using my red trinket. I was like, "Hey guys, look at GP," you know. And I thought it was only GP at first. So I got in there, and then it was actually Jarvan as well, and Tariq was actually cancelled his base. So from mid lane we just used the Rise ulti, and I said I was like chase them, and we just collapsed on them.
Yeah. And then the end was kind of tragic.
And yeah, but I think it was kind of my bad at the end, because we were chasing these guys, right? And like 100% we win that fight, you know, no matter what happens. It's late game, and we have we're outnumbering them. So we killed 2 people, and like Nori saying, or Prophet saying, like, I'm gonna TP back, you know. And we could have just like chased them in the river, and then he could TP behind them, and we could just ace them. That was like one of the ways to win the game. And Prophet decided just, okay, I'll just TP mid because Varus was going there to clear the wave. Okay. And then obviously we thought we had won, you know. That's
so
when
didn't you realize that like Varus has TB because of Spellbook, or top lane was like...
No, we didn't, because
I mean, top lane was pushing really hard
in my
too,
mind,
you know? So
yeah, we weren't paying attention to that top lane, because all we thought about was, yeah, the top wave is gonna hit our turret and shit, but it's not gonna finish the game. That's what we thought. And so it didn't really cross my mind, but I didn't look at the chat when Varus changed the TP.
Okay.
So we were kind of like, oh, let's just go finish. Let's go finish. That was like the only comps. Oh, we can finish. And I was thinking, okay, we have to dive Azir, you know. But if I'm in Varus' situation, you know, what I think is just, well, I'm gonna defend for my life and hope that they can't finish the game. It's the only way, you know. But he took a gamble, went for the TP, and if I just told one of our players like, hey, Rice, you base, the rest keep pushing, you know, it was so simple. But that late into the game, and the panic and
adrenaline,
you're not really clear-minded at that point. I failed to recognize the situation, and we ended up just costing us the game.
How does it feel for you personally? Like, you have this huge individual plays, like 2 Baron steals, but on the other hand, you lost. So are you kind of happy about the Baron steals, or? I
mean, not necessarily. I've always believed that, you know, I should never be in a position where I have to steal the Nash to win the game, you know. It should be that we controlling the game and we're gonna like win the game, like being proactive. So of course I'm always excited when I steal Nash. It's always fun, you know. But I wouldn't say like I'm really happy about it, because we should never be in that position in the first place.
But I think you learn a lot out of these games, even more than if you would have won that, I think. Is it your mindset too?
Yeah, for sure.
This will not happen again, never ever, right?
Yeah. That's why, like, the upcoming day, because I know what everyone's thinking. Prophet shouldn't have TP'd, you know, like maybe that's like in the player's mind. I just told him, like, guys, late game really did not matter this game. It was all about early game, how we should have closed out this game, and we should never get to late game. So I made sure that we all like put that thought away from our head.
And I think you showed a really good reaction on the next day.
It worked pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't too worried about the loss against Vitality, because I saw the improvement and I thought, okay, we just need to fix a little bit of things and then we'll be like good, you know. And then we showed it the next day that we can actually, perfect.
Is it your first perfect game in your career?
Yeah.
So you gave them the feeling that you had for your worst memory in your gaming career. You just gave that to a whole team.
Yeah, I did. And it felt fucking great.
It looked fucking great too, to be honest.
So how did you feel like after Champ Select? Because I was actually talking with Flo on WhatsApp. So you were guys you guys drafted a 1-3-1 comp again, and they drafted like a full engage comp, you know, like with Orn and Alistar
and we were so afraid. I didn't see any, or we didn't see any like disengage from you guys. We were like, oh my god, they are all so fucked if they get them, because you couldn't escape actually.
No, but like I said, like the Vitality game, we just tried to replicate what we did the Vitality game, go for the 1-3-1 and just play it a lot better this time. But I think it didn't really. They had 3 losing lanes and we just snowballed off from there. Yeah, exactly. And we just made sure that we didn't make any mistakes, that they could never engage on us. We just respected the enemy.
Yeah. Actually, you didn't smite the Baron when Zach jumped in.
I was choking, dude. I was actually choking there. I was like, guys, we should stop Zach first, you know, because it's the only way to get back into the game. And then Blanket says like, burst it! You know? And then he just like hits the Nash and just gets it. I was like, holy shit, the Nash is gone. You know, I just forgot to smite it. So
I mean,
I'm happy it didn't cost us. I'm happy we didn't cost. Didn't cost us the game at least.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of like a breakout game for Prophet, right? Because for me, it always felt like he played good, but not like to his full potential. And I think this time he played like he transferred the pressure to the whole team.
Yeah, I think that's what we've been like practicing in scrims as well, and I think he's getting like more comfortable in the team environment and can actually, you know, show his true potential, and that's kind of what I want from like every single player.
So what do you think?
More people.
So what do you think the next games will look like? Will we see a dominant Team Rocket?
So who are we playing?
Schalke and H2K, or H2K and Schalke.
Yeah. Oh, Schalke, man! You need to you need to beat them for the first game, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't sub.
If they sub, I mean, we
if
can
they don't
just
have any subs, then it should be a pretty easy game if they don't sub. But I'm not sure how the games will go. I think H2K is actually not a team to underestimate. Yeah. Because a team that has nothing to lose is a very dangerous team. I would say.
That's so exactly the history of Rocket.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of make sure that I'm well prepared against them, and just focus on H2K first, and then we'll take on Schalke after that. And we'll just do our best and see what happens.
You need to beat Schalke, man. They have 3 former players from us, man.
Yeah.
Nukta is gonna annoy me if we lose 2-0.
And I really want to see Vendor lose, actually.
No worry.
Just because.
Put your trust in us.
Yes, we do.
So,
okay, any more questions to Memento from our experts?
Do you have any questions to us?
Why did you start this podcast?
Because we want to hear your beautiful voice, and we want to spread the word. And yeah, we just want to get an insight into the life of esports pros.
I mean, it's an insane story. I mean, taking off 1 year and like really focusing on this. I mean, for most esports pros, they just get into ladder like on their free time, and then somebody calls now and they're like, oh cool, I'm a pro now. So for me, you have like a really, really crazy story, like
I mean, it was it was really like had to work hard to actually make it. It wasn't just I had the talent. So
I mean,
it was quite a journey, but I'm happy about every single step I took. It was a hell of a journey.
The characters that we have on the team this year, and I mean, besides the 2 Koreans, I mean, it will be a bit hard to communicate with them on a level we did today. But you're very interesting characters. You're nice guys. We have some success right now, and we always get requests. People want to hear more about you guys, and it's not about a shiny, glossy 10-minute or 5-minute video where everybody just has a nice looking crib and plays some games. We wanted to show the person behind the game. Actually, that's why we.
Yeah, and that's a great thing about a podcast. You can take time. You can take a damn hour to talk to you and talk about you and your career. Memento, you are not only wearing ROCCAT jerseys on stage, but you are also using ROCCAT gear. Last question to you: what gear do you use to play?
I like to use the pure ROCCAT Cone Pure mouse. It's always been one of my best. No, okay, I'm joking, but it's the one I use right now. I was doing a commercial, but I'm I'm using the ROCCAT Cone Pure mouse. It's actually the best mouse, I think. And then as the keyboard, I have the, let me see, Soora. Am I saying it right?
FX.
ROCCAT Soora. It has like really beautiful colors and it feels great. It's just small and I just fucking love it. And the headset is
It's a mechanical one, right?
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Did you always play on mechanical, or did you ever try?
I mean,
rubber dome?
when I first started, I played with like just normal one, you know. But then I heard about the magic of mechanical keyboards, so I just had to buy one.
So it feels better to play with a mechanical one.
Yeah, for sure. It really feels a lot better. It's a lot more smoother, I would say.
Now you can't get back to membrane.
Yeah, pretty much. I would never want to change back, honestly.
Well, and we talked already about the headset. It's
the Count Pro.
Has to be the Count Pro, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How is it the Count Pro for you? Like practicing like hours. I mean, the intent why we built this headset was we kind of had some complaints from the team that it was too heavy and it was hurting after 2 or 3 hours. And the microphone,
yeah,
like the teams we had before. So we kind of built it for you guys, actually. So how do you feel about the headset?
Yeah, because I think it's really enjoyable to have. Honestly, it's very light. I barely feel it like on my head, and the microphone is working just fine. And also the I like to listen to music, and it's pretty good sound as well. So cool. I'm really enjoying it.
Do you always also sometimes forget that it's on your head? Like it happens to me sometimes.
No, but I get why it happens.
At least
cut this, man.
Yeah. Okay. And the quality of the mic you can hear in this moment. Like we said, we're recording the whole podcast with the Count Pro's mic.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Memento, thank you very much for the interview.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Have a great day.
Any last words?
Any last words?
Yeah, I guess to the ROCCAT fans, thank you so much for cheering for us, and we'll make sure not to let you down, and we'll give you some exciting games as well.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Right, thanks.
Applause.
Thank you, Jonas.
Dankeschön.
You, dear listeners, if you have any questions to the team, to Team ROCCAT, to us, to the players we are going to interview in the next episodes, then just send us a tweet. Hashtag ESPORTS ROCSTARS. Follow ROCCAT on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. And very important, you can give us an iTunes rating. We will read out all iTunes ratings that you give us in the next episodes. So do that. It's important for us to get higher in the iTunes charts, of course, and you can have the chance to to get read out here in this podcast.
Yeah, and you should tell about it. You should tell your mother, your father, your friends that there is an esports podcast out there. We're gonna bring you insights from the team. We're gonna interview our other players. We're gonna interview personalities, staff. You will get the insights here.
Yeah, ROCCAT Reddit guy.
We don't know yet. We don't know yet which esports rockstar we are going to interview in the next episode. We are looking for Hikyu and for Norskeren, but as they are real rock stars, we don't know it yet. But we'll know in the next few days. Just send us your questions or anything.
Also feedback. I mean, it's the first episode.
Feedback.
So if something is like annoying to you, or you don't like that segment, or you have an idea for a better segment, just tweet it to us, or I mean, there's gonna be a Reddit post, I guess, post it there.
Yeah,
or if you hate our German accent,
or if you like something very much, you can also send a tweet to us.
That would be appreciated.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Then
let's call it a day.
Tien, Flo, and Fred, and Memento, we all say goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.